Close enough. Welcome back, Concord. Alright, so I swear this is the last video that I am making on the Game Awards this year, alright? But we do have to talk about some more things that did happen at that show. And that is the announcements. Now, there was a absolute metric ton of new things announced at the Game Awards, and we're not going to go over everything, alright? Because it wouldn't be fair, and I've realised that the videos I've done in the past where I've talked about every single thing that has been announced has meant that some titles I kind of just glazed over and like didn't really talk about because I didn't really know anything about them or really care for them. So what I've done here is I've picked out 15 of my favourite things that were announced at the Game Awards 2025, and we're going to talk about them, and there's some obvious ones in here, and one of them's not my favourite, but we kind of have to talk about it for obvious reasons as well. So let's crack open a cold one and get right into it.
I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
That was a mess. Well, first up, we had a future Game of the Year winner get shown off, and that is the Free Shepherd. It's coming to PlayStation, we know that much. We don't know any other platforms that it's coming to, but you look like you play as a border collie and you herd sheep, and then there's these weird rocks with glowing stones in them. I'm not really sure what the bigger picture with this game actually is, but it does look like it is going to be very, very interesting. I am so ready for this game. I grew up with a border collie at my auntie's house. I've had ex-girlfriends that have had border collies. I have had friends that have got border collies. I absolutely love that breed of dog. And I really, really cannot wait to play this. And the fact that like the dog like stretches and like plays in the grass, it just looks so adorable. I am so in for this. The Free Shepherd is 100% a game that I am picking up, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Feed me more of this game. We then had another look at Pragmata from Capcom, and this game just looks better and better each time I see it. I absolutely adore the aesthetic that they have gone for with this game. It was a little bit different this time because it wasn't kind of set in that space station. It was more based in like a city. So how this game is going to play out, I don't know, but I am really into it. The combat system as well, they talked about previously, where you have to solve a puzzle to then like do more damage. Looks like it comes into effect a lot here as well. So yeah, it looks really, really different. And I am really intrigued to know how this plays. We got a release date of April of next year for it. Obviously it's coming to all the major platforms. There's obviously going to be a demo which is now available on Steam. So I realized on my drive home today that I could install that on my Steam Deck. So I'm going to go and do that after I make this video and check it out. But we also got an announcement that it's coming to Switch 2. That's great. That's really cool. It's really nice to see a game like that come over to a platform like Switch 2. I think it's going to be day and date, we don't know yet, but I assume that it's all going to be the same release date because it'd be a bit weird otherwise to cannibalize their own sales by not having it available on that platform on day one. But yeah, Pragmata is shaping up to be something really, really cool. The next game I want to talk about is called Bradley the Badger. And it is a very charming and very unique looking game. And it was really, really hard to not have a smile on my face when watching this. It looks as though you are playing as, well, Bradley the Badger, who is exploring all these video game worlds that aren't finished, and it's your job to finish them, essentially. I don't understand what you're going to be doing entirely, but it looks really intriguing. And the fact that it is voiced by Evan Peters as well is just incredible. I don't know how much it's going to blend into like a freedom to create your own stuff like game. I think it's going to have a lot of restrictions on it, but it does look really, really cool. The fact that they were like playing into other like IPs as well, when you had like Badgerborn, which is obviously a take on Bloodborne, you had Cyber Badger, which is Cyberpunk, and The Last Badger as opposed to The Last, like how deep that goes, I don't know. It's a lot of like Sony properties there, so it'd be interesting to see where this goes. Like, is it just going to be Sony stuff we're going to see? Are we going to see maybe tributes to other franchises, shall we say? But yeah, I'm really intrigued. I am really looking forward to this one. I wasn't initially, and then re-watching the trailer, I've kind of gone, you know what? This looks pretty dope. I'm pretty in for this. Coven of the Chicken Foot. These game titles are just wild. This game, I mean, I've just re-watched the trailer and you can see the smile that is on my face right now. It is incredibly gorgeous, this game. It is so pretty. It's giving me big Last Guardian vibes. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to play out, obviously, but it looks so charming. And the interactions between your character and like the monster thing that you are partnered up with here just look incredible. Like, it looks like it's going to be a really deep and loving story. And Wildflower Interactive have done something that looks super, super unique here. I am all in on this. This is the type of stuff that I want to see more of. I absolutely love it. It looks gorgeous. Pump that into my veins. Next up, Jeff solved the mystery of the statue which had appeared in America. And it actually turns out that the statue that was there was related to a new game in the Divinity series. This one just simply called Divinity. We saw a cinematic trailer for it, which is very gory, very culty, Wickerman vibes going on with it. Really, really unsettling, really graphic. It definitely has caused a reaction online with it. Very weird. Not really sure how this is going to play out. On the surface, it doesn't appear to be linked to other Divinity games, but I'm sure if you have got experience with them, you are going to be at a bit of an advantage, have a bit of an understanding of some of the lore that's going on there. But regardless, it was a very deep and very weird trailer. I'm not a big fan of cinematic only stuff, but I fully get that this is just to build up hype for it, but it is unsettling, to say the least. Lords of the Fallen 2 was then shown off again, and we have seen this before. It just looks really gruesome and really gory and really, really fun. I do need to check it out. They also announced at the end there's another patch that's out now for Lords of the Fallen with patch 2.5 with veteran mode on it, with a few other changes as well. So I do want to install that and I do want to check that out. But Lords of the Fallen 2 looks like it's right up your street if you want a violent, gory, medieval fantasy game. I'm going to be checking out the first one to see if I want to get involved with this. But from the outset, as someone who loved Elden Ring, I think I'm going to be really, really into this. If you have checked it out before and you've played Lords of the Fallen 1, let me know. One of the other games that really caught my eye was Phantom Blade Zero. Now again, this is a game that we have seen before, but we did get a release date for it now, which is the 9th of September next year. So 9th September 2026 is when this game is going to be coming out. It looks really, really, really good. Again, it's that Souls-like combat formula, it appears, and it just looks really interesting. Like, I love the aesthetic, I love the sort of graphical style that they're going for, I love the setting of it. I think it's going to be a really, really fun game. Obviously, when we get close to the date, I hope that there is going to be a demo that we can try out for it, because it does look it's going to be a really, really, really good game. I really hope that it lives up to the hype that it's got, because Sony have been putting a lot behind it. It is a PlayStation exclusive as well. How long that lasts, I don't know. Obviously, it will probably end up on PC, but it does look like it's going to be a really, really fun game. The combat system in it does look pretty interesting. Now, I'm not someone that has any affinity to Total War games or Warhammer, really. I'm trying to dabble with playing Warhammer. I'm going to be playing Necron for those of you out there that have any interest in it. But I have to mention this game because I kind of owe my friend £10 because I didn't think this was going to happen. But we are getting Total War Warhammer 40k come out. Now, as far as I know, I don't know much about these Total War games. It looks like it's an RTS, or it is an RTS game. I don't know how it differs to Dawn of War. I really don't know. But I know we're getting a new Dawn of War game soon. I know this is a 40k game. I don't know the difference, but I owe someone £10. It looks pretty cool. Like, you know, these sort of cinematics that they make for the Warhammer games are always really sick. So I can't lie, I'm a little bit intrigued in learning about this now. Now, this is the first of our sort of 2-game back-to-back pieces we're going to be talking about here, because this one is for Tomb Raider Catalyst. Now, I'm not a Tomb Raider fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I never really played the original ones because I didn't have a PlayStation when I was younger, and playing the new ones, I have sort of no affinity for the franchise, so I've not really ever seen the appeal in them. But this looks like it's going back to a little bit more of that tribute to the original Lara Croft, like colorway and like the outfit that she's got on. I'm not sure how this ties in, but for you Tomb Raider fans out there, we are getting a new Tomb Raider game, so you're going to be eating good. But that is not the only Tomb Raider thing that is happening. We are also getting Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, which is a retelling of the 1996 original game, which is really cool. It's a really nice nod to them, and to be honest, it's the refresh and remastering, or remake I should say, that this game kind of needed in my eyes, because that's how you hit that nostalgia bone perfectly with that. It looks gorgeous. Even as someone, like I just said, who has no sort of affinity to that franchise, I'm considering this one because I know I missed out on it, and I would really like to see what it is like now with the modern sort of aesthetic to it. Being done in Unreal Engine as well, so it's going to have all the sort of modern sort of problems that come with Unreal, as well as all the benefits as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this one is like. Now, you know me, I love horror games.
That was a lie.
And we got another look at Resident Evil 9 Requiem, but we won't focus on Grace with this trailer. No, the main sort of focal point was that Leon Kennedy is back. Yes, that heartthrob Leon Kennedy is once again going to be gracing our screens. In what capacity, how long you're going to be playing as him, I don't know, but you are definitely going to be playing as him, and it looks pretty cool. I won't be playing this game. Unless I can get a code for it, I will not be purchasing this game because I will be terrified when I play it. It looks so, like, no, like I am not good with horror games. We've discussed this and been over this already, as you saw in October, but this looks really good for you Resident Evil fans out there. And all of you out there that have a little bit of a crush on Leon Kennedy, have at it. And now we've got another back-to-back for similar games, okay? So, this one, I'm going to preface this, okay, if you haven't seen in the news about it. This is Star Wars Galactic Racers.
Now this is pod racing.
This looks really fun. Okay, it was a cinematic trailer, okay, we didn't get any gameplay with it, but as someone who can remember and has vivid memories of playing Star Wars Pod Racer for the N64 in a McDonald's in my hometown when I was a kid, this looks like it could be a laugh. Again, I don't think you need to have like a big sort of knowledge of the Star Wars franchise to be able to appreciate these games. They're just solid racing games. Pod racing was a really fun game, and I'm really glad that this is back. And it is really nice to see them doing something a little bit off the wall than just a normal sort of third-person adventure game or action game that you would normally get with these sort of Star Wars games of recent. And for all of you Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic fans, we have Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic. How this ties in, I don't know. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I enjoy the films, but I'm not deep in the lore or anything like that. So I never really got into these games, okay? But this is something that people I know have been crying out for. If it is in the sort of Knights of the Old Republic type of way, then this is going to be a smash hit. It's got a lot to live up to, but I know the fans have been crying out for this. And the fan reception when this happened was insane. And that is where I'd love to finish this video, but I can't, because unfortunately there was one more game which I have to talk about. Obviously there were a load of other games that were announced, but those are the ones that I've kind of highlighted that were the ones that I'm taking away from this. But there was one more game that we kind of have to talk about. From people behind games like Titanfall and Overwatch comes Highguard, and it is a team-based live service shooting game. The game's getting a lot of hate online, and it's because the industry and the fans of the industry are tired. We're tired of stuff like this. I think if this had been like just dropped in, like in the middle somewhere, no one would really be talking about it right now. But it was the last thing that was announced, and it was hyped up by Jeff as well. They were making out that this was going to be some sort of big game, and it's just not hitting the way that I think they thought it was going to be happening. We've already got devs and community managers locking posts on Twitter. We've already got so many dislikes on videos about it. There's a lot of hate circulating for it, and I'm torn. I am Natalie Imbruglia here, because unfortunately I can see both sides. Yeah, it's a new game, no one's played it yet, no one can really judge it. Cool, I fully get that. However, it is a team-based live action shooting game. Hero shooter, you could say, that's the terminology everyone seems to be used for it. And people are bored of them. And that is why it is drawing comparisons to Sony's really underwhelming and terribly short game, Concord. Is this going to be Concord 2? Who knows? I personally will not be playing this. I don't particularly care for those types of games. But it doesn't seem like a lot of people are really excited for it, aside from those that seem to be weirdly overexcited for it, which strikes me as a bit strange considering how little we already know about the game. But either way, the industry seems to be going down a certain path. But what do you think? You know, what are your thoughts on the games that were announced? Were there any that I didn't mention that you did enjoy? What are you looking forward to? And how excited are you to play Free Shepherd? Seriously, between Free Shepherd and Herdling, I'm pretty much set to have my cozy games next year. This is just so cute.